Well, welcome to the New York Archive. This is the coolest moment of the week. Let's get started. For anyone who is just discovering you, who is Jess beyond the styling tips?
I feel like work is a big part of my life, especially like what you're seeing on social. But I feel like beyond that, I am like entirely made up of my family.
Aww.
And I feel like for example, like I feel like my dad is like an amazing chef and is like in a band. So I'm born and raised a foodie. I feel like it's nature and nurture at that point. Mm-hmm. And also music is like a huge part of my personality. My mom is a kindergarten teacher and I feel like she's taught us like how to be gentle and like big love bugs, but also like stand up for yourself as a woman. And
oh, so this is why you're so perfect.
No, but like these are my people and I feel like so lucky to be surrounded by the most amazing people. I'm also the oldest daughter and I feel like I can spot an oldest daughter from like anywhere in a room.
Yeah.
We like share telepathy.
Yes.
And
I would love for psychology to do more on that.
Me too. No, I talk about it in therapy.
Love.
And yeah, who else? And I'm a wife and I love it and almost 2 years and he is my best friend and a huge part of me too.
Wait, that's so
So I feel like that's who I am. I don't know, I thought about like work has just like consumed me, but I feel like everything else is just family.
Wait, I love that so much. I feel like when you have jobs the way that we do, like you don't clock in. It's not like you're working to live, you live to work. In like not a scary way where you're part of like the corporate machine, because like you're creating, and so like even when you're like scrolling on Pinterest you're working, or like when you're editing your photos you're working. Like it's all very different than like a traditional job, but like it's work nonetheless.
Yeah, it's like life's work.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how to say it any better than that. It's life's work, and it's like your mission is your life. Which is a really cool thing. Honestly, like, struggle with that a little bit. I feel like because I'm new to this space of working for myself and my business being my name, I think everybody is defined by work nowadays.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like...
Do you feel like it's partly the age that we're in, like,
probably
in our lives? Or do you think it's more of a, like, because the creator economy continues to grow?
I think it's a mix, but I also talk about... It was actually funny, I just have to side note, but like we did this game on The Bachelorette this weekend. It was like toxic trait, and I really thought about these questions. Like it was like a bunch of like questions, and she had to guess who wrote each answer that was there.
That's so
She was like, guys, I feel like you're exposing me here, because it was like toxic trait, and she had to guess what everyone wrote for them. But I was thinking about it, and I said my toxic trait was like that I'll always say like my therapist says, because I do. But she's my girl. But anyways, I was talking about this in therapy a while ago in different contexts, but she was like, you don't have kids yet, but you're in a steady relationship, you're married, you have a partner, you are driving your career the way you want to drive it, so like it makes sense. You're an independent woman. It makes sense that your career is made up, like that's a big part of your life. You don't have kids yet, you don't know, like I don't know, I just feel like young moms in my life, like that's their mission, that's their life, that's who they are.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I agree. I think that like hold space for this one. When you go to college and you have so much free time for the first time ever, and you don't have a schedule and no one's telling you what to do, you're like, okay, who the fuck am I?
Yeah, what do I want to spend my time doing?
And then you leave college and you are like, okay, I'm immediately going to get into a job and I'm going to define myself by that. Yeah. And then most of the time that job changes, because typically the first job you find yourself in isn't your forever job. And then when you get to kind of like this age where you're like mid to late 20s, it's like, okay, do I like my career and I'm going to define myself by it? Am I going to get married and define myself by that? Or is it like a secret third thing?
And I feel like we put so much pressure on not being defined by those things. I feel like we look at it as such a negative thing, but it's like, what are we supposed to be defined by then?
I feel like it's a negative thing if you're not doing the work outside of that. Like, it's a negative thing if you're not going to therapy and you're not thinking critically about why you're defining yourself by those things, or if you don't have outside friendships, or if you don't do like a hobby, like whether it's painting or volunteer work or whatever. Like if you define yourself by those things and those things alone, then like yes, maybe there's a problem there, mostly because you're doing it in excess, but like, at the end of the day, if you love your job, you should be comfortable defining yourself by it because it's genuinely your passion.
And also, what you learn in therapy is that if you are someone who loves your job and you love to be defined by it, then that's okay.
That's okay.
And if you love to be defined as a mother, then
that's okay.
It's all about your happiness. And if you're not feeling fulfilled by being defined by your job, then make changes.
Yeah.
We're multifaceted. We can do a lot of things.
Love. Basically, this podcast ends up being therapy.
Yes.
Do you think you'll die in New York?
Yeah, probably.
Really?
Yeah, and actually we were talking about it last night. Like, I don't spend much time in Southern California, which is where I was just there. And I had, like, an itch, like, 3 or 4 years ago, really, to be, like, in somewhere in Southern California. I was like, I really feel like that's me, that's my vibe, that's what I want to be doing, that's the life I want to live. And my now husband was like, I can never see us leaving the East Coast. Like, he's from New York, and I'm from the East Coast, and I was like, but what if, like, I really want it? And we'd get in fights. He'd be like, I just can't realistically see it, and it's not happening right now. So, like, why are we talking about it? I was like, because we're going to get married one day, and what if you're telling me we can never do this? And then he was like, obviously, we can always have this conversation if it's real and we want to do it. And then I came home last night, I was like, oh, I loved it. I think you would love it more, but I don't think I would leave New York at this point. It's been 7 years, and I feel lucky to be able to, like, live here.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think that's the thing about New Yorkers is, like, we're very, like, everyone's like, oh, will you stay here forever? It's like, if I'm lucky enough.
Yeah.
I kind of feel.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'm like, I hate it.
Well,
I hate it.
And that's okay. It's usually, that happens in the winter, and that makes sense.
Yeah, they're harsh.
But yeah, I feel like it's also a weird age of being like, okay, especially because my life is my job, like, I'm making all of these connections, like, and building this career and things like that, and, like,
yeah.
You're like, wait, you guys are gonna leave? Where are you guys going?
I know.
I don't understand. They're like, yeah.
I've had friends leave.
I'm like, why?
No, I've had friends leave. I had my first, like, best friend leave the city friend, bridesmaid at my wedding, left, and I was like, whoa. It's like, dagger to the heart a little bit. 100%. But they do. People leave.
I know. Guys, please
come back.
Stop doing that.
I'm like, they'll be back, but I do think it's hard to come back.
Yeah. Really. So obviously you work in styling, and for your wedding you put together 7 different bridal looks. Did it feel weird being your own client, and, like, what did you learn from that experience?
No, it did not feel weird being my own client. I love the art of getting dressed because I think I love, like, the emotion behind it all. Like, I love the passion behind it, and I love the inspiration that you pull from it, and it's hard to feel that when I'm styling other clients that aren't me. Like, it was, like, my dream to style myself because I was, like, got to dig into parts of, like, my childhood and my relationship with Matt and, like, where we were getting married, and it was, like, super intimate and personal. So I loved styling myself, and that's why I create content too, because I love styling myself, and I love inspiring people to find themselves and their unique value to their personal style more than I like inspiring someone to, like, buy a shirt, you know?
Yeah, you're like, I don't give a fuck about a shop my length.
No, yeah, I'm like, I don't give a fuck about a shop my length. I do, I love shop my, but I
us being like, not to bite the hand that feeds us, but
we love shop my, but I also am like, I love giving you inspiration for something that, like, you haven't really seen before, but you might have already in your closet. Like,
totally.
You know, wearing 2 things a certain way that you're like, oh, I haven't done that before. That would be really cool. And I already have those 2 in my closet. Let me go do that.
What was the mix between the pieces that were pre-loved versus bought new?
Pre-loved, I wore a pre-loved piece, a fair vintage 90s mini. It looked like the naked dress that Carrie wore. And it was, like, a little bit long.
Like, really big platforms? Or
no, I actually wore it with
I'm trying to, like,
these palm
put it in my mind's eye.
It was my pool party. It was like, it came to my knees, so I cut off, like, half of it and made it really mini and made the other part a headpiece. And it was, like, sparkly champagne, like the naked dress that Carrie wore. And then I wore it with these, like, palm angels, like, suede palm tree heels.
Adorable.
They're cute. That was vintage. And then I custom did a dress with Kettle. She's gotten really big since, but when I found her 3 years ago, she was like just starting, and she uses all vintage fabric, crochet
so
fabric.
cool.
So that was pre-loved, reworked, and then I did a runway piece for Valentino, Pier Paolo's last like summer collection.
That's insane.
Pier Paolo's my favorite creative director, and I love him at Balenciaga, but I loved him at Valentino, so I really wanted a piece of that.
No.
And the whole collection was pretty much white, so it was like perfect timing.
You're like, did you guys do this for me or what?
No, because I couldn't. I was like, this is so expensive. But, and then, yeah, that was it. And then I custom did a lot of my pieces, like, or like altered them, more custom than vintage.
Yeah.
Which I love.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Vintage
wasn't like, vintage bridal wasn't really doing its like big one 4 years ago.
Yeah.
It really wasn't.
I feel like it's changed a lot very quickly.
My friend Sarah Nicole, she's big now.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I started styling brides like from my wedding, essentially. Like I had one-offs before, like friends and family, whatever. But I found her. I'm not even kidding you. I think she had 400 followers. She was selling a vintage Valentino like suiting jacket, and I had found this skirt for a client, and I was trying to find the jacket, and it came up on my Instagram, and I was like, messaged her. I was like, I'm shopping for a client.
I'll do anything for this.
Yeah, and we became really great friends. I'm actually seeing her today, but like, yeah, like she's one of my great friends, but she has great inventory, and she didn't exist when I got married. Yeah. People like didn't really do it.
No, I think that like bridal and vintage have changed a lot in tandem over the past few years.
I agree.
I think that
it's more accessible. It's like there was always
that's
like Raff
what I was gonna say.
Yeah, like Raff vintage was around, and like Tab vintage was in LA. But yeah, like it's way more accessible now, and everyone. I think there's a pressure, even if you're not into vintage, to have something vintage on your wedding weekend.
Yes, I think that before there wasn't this pressure for uniqueness, and also I think that there was a price accessibility stigma, and I think that people felt like they had to be spending X amount on their dress or things like that, and so if they saw something vintage and it wasn't in that price range, like it would be weirdly enough like they're like, why isn't this as expensive as it should be?
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, is that icky? Like, I don't know, it just changed a lot.
I do agree. Like people viewing vintage as like dirty versus like cool. Like I think it did shift a little bit.
Yeah, it really did. Like, I mean, and I can obviously see that every day, but like even how big companies are starting to try and do like partnerships with vintage. Like I think that the Vogue eBay market is not talked about enough about making like a cultural shift a little bit
towards
the
best way to put it.
Like the push to shop vintage in that kind of way.
I agree.
Because they were like, oh wait, Vogue likes it?
And then I think it really I think bridal vintage really shifted the entire game, because like first your bridal wardrobe is supposed to be the most elegant of elegant, right? And then also it's like once cool people started making the movement to wearing vintage, it was like, I don't know, like I feel like it's been trickled down. I was even talking to Sarah about this yesterday. I was like, people really want like their wedding wardrobe, but now they also like wedding guests want vintage. Like you want like, now you're doing like a 5-day wedding in Italy and you need like a pool party look as a guest. It's trickling down. I feel like the wedding industry has made it like, you're so right, like there's such a push for like being unique, and that's something only vintage can really give you now.
Well, and I think
custom.
Well, yes, and I think that before, like to your point about it trickling down to the guests, as social media has gotten bigger and bigger, like people before didn't want to be stealing attention away from the bride, but now like they're able to have attention in their own right through social media without it being related to the event. So like,
that is such a good way to put it.
Like I had to think about what I wanted to say there for a second, but like the same way like you'll go to Isle of Monday and you'll get this crazy archival look, like it's not in any way to upstage the bride, like they can exist in tandem, but you can still like take that environment, take those photos in that beautiful place and like use it for a moment of your own on social media without it being a faux pas in a way that it used to be, because there wasn't social media then.
I don't think I was going to weddings and it was a faux pas.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, we've been going to. I don't know, I feel like, yeah, you're so right, though. Like,
you know what I mean? Like, before, like, the bride would be like, what the fuck are you doing wearing that?
Really? I can't even imagine. Because I'm like, wear your best gown, everyone.
Yeah, please.
Pull it out, feathers.
Yeah, look amazing.
Sequins.
Totally.
Honestly, slits, cutouts.
Yeah, nipples.
It's a party. It's a party.
All the naked dresses.
And honestly, a lot, I will say, I'm very selective about the brides I work with because it is a very intimate relationship, and I've learned that in the 2 years I've been doing this. Like, I'm very new to it, but I've learned that, like, it has to be a right fit, not even just, like, personality, also with your style, but, like, energy.
Mm-hmm.
And all of my brides are very much like that. They're always, like, when it comes to their bridesmaids gowns, if I'm sourcing those vintage, or like what their vibe is overall for like the event and what they want their wardrobe to look like amongst their guest wardrobe, like they're very much like, I want everyone to blow it out.
Totally.
Like, okay, so we have to really
Do you feel old?
the best way. Yeah. This year.
Do you feel old because you're married?
No, I felt like a child bride when I got married, and then I felt all of a sudden like behind. I think the thing with content and like being a creative in the space and benchmarking your success on things like follower count and campaigns and networking and shows and whatever, I felt like I'm struggling at 29, and I honestly feel really alone in it because I feel like I've spoken to a lot of people that are 29 or have turned 30, and they're like, oh my god, I feel so young at 30. I feel so excited to be 30. I feel there's like a lot of positive, and maybe they're all lying to me because it was all really hard for them and not me, but I'm just being openly honest. Like 29 has felt really hard for me, and I think maybe it's because I'm going through this like huge transition in my career of like, I worked corporately for 7 years and built that career up and was really proud of the career I built, and then now I'm like, I'm not at step one, like I'm really appreciative of what I'm doing, but I feel like a child. And I think when you base your success on all of these numbers, and I feel like a drop in the bucket and compared to a lot of people, and you can't compare yourself to anyone, but that's where I feel at 29. I'm like, I have so much to do.
I feel like that's an industry thing though. Like, I feel like to my thing before of saying like I feel like the oldest and youngest person alive, like that's how I feel. And I feel like, especially trying to straddle two things at once, where like I'm trying to continue to push forward like my personal development, where like beyond the store there's something that's sustaining to like my personal career in terms of like doing brand deals and content creation and styling and like all of those things, where like it allows me to always have like a backup plan.
Yeah.
If one day everyone woke up and they were like, vintage fucking sucks. Like, it's not like I would need to completely reinvent my life. But at the same time, like, doing both sometimes makes me feel like I'm so much further back. Like, and I think that even with just, like, vintage alone, like, I was at a point last year where for, like, 6 or 8 months I was like, should I get a real job? Like,
oh my god, really?
Yeah. And I think this
sometimes I feel that in the last 6 months for me, where I'm like, I have this whole like, I have like 2 degrees, and I'm like, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? And then I have people like sit me down and be like, no, you're doing it. Like,
no, you're
doing it. But I'm like, but it just wasn't a job really when I was in school. Like, and
I understand.
Same for you. It's like, it wasn't a job.
This has evolved really quickly.
Really quick, and we didn't like sit down and talk about, okay, so if you want to get your degree in fashion, whatever you're getting it in, and go out and create content. This is what it's going to look like. It's not going to be a 9 to 5. You're going to create campaigns. You're going to do this. You're going to work. You're going to network. You're going to go to events. You're going to do this. And that is normal, right? Like, I feel like you go to college and they explain, like, how this is going to look. You have a career, like, counselor or whatever. You talk to all these people. You watch people above you do things that they did, that have your degree, that went, like, alumni. And it wasn't really a thing in 2018, 2019. No. So I was just like, so obviously I think up until I moved here and 2021, when it really started becoming, you can monetize off of it. Obviously I've been posting on Instagram as long as I can remember, just for the fun of it. And I was a Tumblr girl. Like, I've always loved the internet. I never thought I was gonna, like, be monetizing on it. But, like, then when that became an option, it's like, it took me a second to be like, oh,
yeah,
that's real. That's, like, what I can use for my career, for my degree. I don't know.
I think that the monetization aspect has changed a lot in the past, like, 2 years, 3 years.
Because it's the single way that people are intaking anything and everything.
So,
when was the last time you watched a commercial?
No. I'm reading Trick Mirror. Have you read it?
No.
Okay, so Trick Mirror.
Is it a self-help book?
It's not a self-help book, but it's like kind of like critical thinking about where we are as like a society, and also like how social media affects like our perception of self. And like in the beginning of the book, she talks about how we're in such late stage capitalism that like before you were fully able to separate out yourself from a product, and now you can't. Like, we have become a product. And like everything that we wear is a billboard in a way where before it wasn't, because there was no actionable way for someone to make money off of what you were wearing or who you are. And now we're creating aesthetics surrounding who we are as people. So like, I think that there's at least 50 things I could list that would be Jespresso aesthetic, and like you could make commission off of. Where 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago, like that would sound insane. But now it's like everything you put on your body, everything you do comes with the opportunity to make money, and so it's hard to separate out yourself from product. And like it's created this like economy of self, and like how do you discern that? Like if it like, and I was reading it and I was like, oh my god, it's like vocalizing, like it's everything insane. I feel.
Yeah, that really is insane. And I just think about people that are not creating, like, listen, there's different levels to this. There are fashion creators that are posting their outfits day and their night outfits every single day. They're posting 14 outfits a week, if not more, right? And there's people that are like posting a few times a week, and then there's like people that are not even an influencer, but they have shop mine, and they're like, oh, I feel like I'm influential enough, and I feel like you guys are gonna like this bikini, I'm gonna post it on my story and link it, right? There's levels to this shit, but it's like I can't even imagine someone who is not in a universe where they're not like trying to monetize what they're doing or influence someone in their life at all. And I'm like, that's actually like freeing.
And I think that the boundary before used to be like this wall of embarrassment, but I feel like we're in this like really interesting cultural space where like it's cool to try.
It's cool to be embarrassed.
And so now everyone wants to be an influencer, when like 3 or 4 years ago, like people would want to make videos in secret and not want anyone to know about it. Now like everyone aspires to that career. Everyone aspires to be able to share and create and like have a platform. And before, like that would have been embarrassing to care enough about yourself to do that. And now we're in this like day and age where like you should want to care about yourself. Like you should want to put your best foot forward. Like you should want to try different things. And like before that didn't exist.
So true.
Yeah, it's just crazy. The world's fucking crazy, and we're literally just trying to navigate it. Okay, 7 looks is a lot for a wedding. What was your favorite?
I feel like I don't have a favorite. I feel like they were all like pieces to a puzzle, and like I couldn't have one without the others.
That totally makes sense.
Like I like think about it all the time, and people always ask me this question, and I'm like, you know, the depth to my style is there's a lot of depth to my style, should I say. And I think I'm not defined by like one ball gown or like one crochet outfit, and I feel that in my day-to-day life. And I feel like with my
put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, put it on a t-shirt. So I feel like yeah, that's my answer. It took me a while to get there because I really do think about them all individually.
Yeah.
But like, and they all, let's say it's a puzzle and you can't have one without the other. There are pieces that are bigger. But obviously, yeah, like I don't think it doesn't make sense without one of them.
What was the hardest thing to find or create?
Hardest thing to find or create, again, it goes back to the puzzle. I think you're working, and I do this with my brides now, I'm like, we will find it when we find it. You know the events you want to look for, and like even some events you're like, I could change again, or I could not, or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, let's see how like the pieces lie, let's see how the pieces fall. And it's very much like the hardest part about it is putting it all together, because sometimes you're working backwards, sometimes you're working forward, sometimes you're working from the middle and you're working out, and you're kind of like, it just depends on what you find first and how you go from there. Like, totally. I obviously always recommend to everyone to get your gown first. It's not how every bride works, but I think it's easiest to have your gown that you are wearing in your ceremony, your most sacred piece, and then build around. Like, I knew I needed a full crochet look, but I probably knew I wasn't going to be doing that for like my actual gown.
Right.
So like, and then that's how it was. And then I was like, oh, I really love, like I did a custom dress and designed it here in New York, and I was like, I really want this. Like, I want something for like a reception, a party. Like, I want something very like party girl aesthetic, but elegant still. And you just like kind of build, you kind of make it. That's like that was the hardest part.
Yeah. No, that totally makes sense.
Building it out, all of it.
I feel like you view every aspect of your life with this like beautiful creative brain, and it's just not linear. You're like,
it's not linear. That's like, I put that on a t-shirt.
Put it on a fucking t-shirt. So you have 2 degrees, one in merchandising and one in design. Yeah. What do you feel like rules your day to day, the business side or the creative?
I feel like I being in corporate America for 7 years in the fashion industry, like, was everything and more. I think I like moved here, and my main thought and concern was finances and money and making a living here, right? Like, I'm not from the tri-state area. I couldn't like commute from my childhood home like a lot of people could. I had to move here, and I remember getting my first job, and she offered me a merchandising or a sales assistant role. She was like, babes, she was like, babes, they're the same. Like, listen, like, you know, she's like, I need help on both teams. Like, and you're qualified for both and not qualified for both. Like, amazing. You're 1 week out of college, right? And I really loved her, and she was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, oh, and I was giving her my spiel, like, asking for advice, and she was like, sales is where the money is. And I was like, okay, that's what I want. Like, that's what I want, right? And so that's kind of how I got into sales, and I was doing it for the money. Like, yeah, I was stepping into new roles for the money. I was moving positions, moving companies, and then I quickly looked back, and I was like, I am depleted. Like, my creativity has completely depleted because I'm trying to make a living here. And I knew that from the jump that, like, a design role doesn't pay the bills in New York City. Like, I knew that. So I knew I had to forego that, even though that's my degree. And I think that's why I had to leave what I was doing in corporate fashion. I think I was like, I need to lean into my creativity. Like, it's depleted, and I feel it gone from me, and like a huge part of me felt missing, and I was really sad, and I didn't know why. And so while my job can be really business oriented, and I am running a business, I am leaving that to my amazing team. And I am fully logged in on my creative like brain. I think there's so many parts of me, because I worked in a corporate environment for 7 years, that just runs business like in my sleep. Like there are so many.
You're seeing opportunities.
There's so many parts of it that I run it like a business. I'm very organized. I'm very type A. So I think that comes naturally to me. But like the most exciting part, and I think the part that gets me ahead is my creativity.
Totally. Yeah. Okay, I've been so distracted this entire time by all of your jewelry, and I know you just did an insane collab, but can you do a jewelry tour?
Oh, I love a jewelry tour.
Yeah.
I actually like. We need to put this in there because people really ask me.
No,
I'm always lazy. I don't have everything on right now, but okay. I'll start with the rings. So my jeweler is Alexandra Beth.
Okay.
And she did my engagement diamond. She's a friend. My friend, one of my best friends, worked for her.
Aww.
Was leaving the city, moving to Ohio. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. She's moving back to Ohio. Shout out Nat. And she reached out to Matt and was like, if you are thinking about it, I am moving. You've got a timeline.
Oh my god.
And I was like, okay. So Natalie And Alexander Beth helped Matt design it fully, alone. I never tried on a ring.
You're lying.
Yeah, no, so never.
Oh my god, crazy. Okay, obsessed.
That's my favorite. And then my band is also Alexander Beth. Matt and I have matching ones.
Aww.
It's just like a 5mm men's comfort.
Adorable.
With a little diamond embedded. And then Matt and I did a Valentine's Day campaign with Ring Concierge.
I saw it.
It was really fun. And they gifted me this emerald 4-diamond band that I wear on my middle finger. And then also this pinky
Aww.
ring. And then I designed, with my jeweler, I have a little collab, 3 pieces, and this fringe dangling pear-shaped ring is part of it.
Love.
Also, this necklace is a pair with the
You love a pair.
pendant. Yeah. I think that's why we did it with the collab. We did all pairs for the collab because
it's your signature now.
Yeah, it's my signature. My signature diamond now.
Love.
We should all have a signature diamond.
Everyone should have a signature diamond.
Beyond. And then I have like a lot of permanent bracelets just from like random things.
Yeah.
Pandora, I love this cup actually.
Wait, cutie.
Yeah. Yeah, actually these are like, I gotta get the names of all these jewelry brands for you, but
Love.
just get a stack going.
It's perfect.
Thanks.
Okay, that was amazing. That was everything I needed and more.
Yeah. And then I wear like a lot of anklets.
I love that.
Jenny Bird, shout out. This is probably not a good angle for my body right now. Hold on. A lot of anklet.
I need you to tell me which anklets are worth it because
Jenny Bird. These are all Jenny Bird.
Really?
Yeah, stack it up.
I've been for the last like 3 years wearing an anklet every single day. The last like 3 or 4 have all broken.
No.
And so now
not Jenny Bird. This one hasn't come off for 2 years.
Naked. No,
yeah.
Really?
Then the other ones are like 3 months in.
Okay, I'm obsessed. So you went from corporate to creative direction and styling. What pushed you to make the jump?
I feel like kind of what we were talking about before, like my creativity was depleted and I felt like I'm so lucky to have been slowly building the platform that I've built, like on social. I feel like I was never really full force like leaning in, but I was like, I can and I could and I had the opportunity to do it and yeah.
So I know you've been posting forever just like naturally, but when did it kind of like switch over from being like, okay, like kind of do this to like, okay, kind of do it as a job?
Honestly, like it's all a blur as it is, right? Like it's all a blur. I feel like I love social media and I love it. I like to say my page is lifestyle truly, but my lifestyle is just getting dressed. And it has been my whole life. Like I just love fashion, but like that's my life. I'm never going to be the creator that's telling you like 5 ways to wear something or 10 places to buy this top or I don't know. Like I'm not that I don't want to be educational. I just
it's just not your truth.
Yeah, it's just like
you just want to have fun.
My page, my whole life has just been about me and what I'm wearing, where I'm going, and what I'm wearing.
Totally.
There, and that's really what it is. And I hope I can give inspiration and influence to people that are maybe going on a similar trip or maybe living a similar life or aspiring to live that life, right?
Totally.
Like that's kind of my truth there. But so it's like very blurry because of it. I think when I started styling, I started posting my looks more because I felt like that was building an online portfolio. It was giving the people, like, potential clients, like, oh, I really like her vibe. And I can see that I like her vibe because of what she wore Monday to Friday. Yeah. And it was like a one outfit. It was like a one video a week. I was posting everything I wore to my corporate job or like to an event and mashing it all up and that was it. People like looked forward to it. It was great and that was like, that's what I was doing. And that's what I thought content was really honestly. And then my agent reached out to me and she was like, would you be interested in working with brands on a campaign level and working more in social media or do you just want to stay with styling and working in corporate? And I was like, yeah, I think I would love to do something like that. I wasn't really doing it. I wasn't really monetizing it other than like Shop My like affiliate. And so she signed me like in May of last year. And I will say that professional advice and like advice and insight and kind of like leading the path of like rev it up, do this, like how can you get creative here, like this is what people want to see, kind of made me a little bit more intentional about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, like revved it up. So I would say like I really started taking this seriously as a job like a year and a half ago.
That's amazing. And I feel like in that time you've grown a lot.
Yeah, you really see the growth when you really just like put your head down and work.
Yeah.
And I think the hardest part of this job, for me at least, is there were moments when I was working in corporate America that I was posting, and then I was like, oh, I don't really feel inspired right now. Oh, I don't really feel creative right now, right? And what this page was for me was an outlet of my creativity.
Yeah.
So then when I wasn't feeling creatively inspired, I just wouldn't post, right? Like,
and now
like,
you don't really have that option.
now I don't have that option. Now I'm like, because consistency is key, and that is so true, especially when it comes to posting online and any type of work you're really doing. Consistency is key, and it's all about what you're doing when you're not on top. I think like when you don't see stuff performing or hitting, and it's like I think the key to success is what you're doing then when you're seeing yourself not succeed the way you want to be succeeding. So for me, like I've had these ruts, you know, I left my job in February, and there's been pockets of moments where I'm like,
I can't believe it was that recent.
There's been pockets of moments where I'm like, I can't even possibly get out of bed. How am I going to get a video out? How am I going to get a post out? I don't feel creative. I don't feel beautiful. That's another thing, is you have to be on the screen.
Yeah.
I don't feel good about myself. I feel gross. But it's like that hill of like, I don't feel it, but I have to put something out.
Yeah.
It's been really hard for me, but it works.
Totally.
Yeah.
And on the outside, you would never know.
And that sometimes like annoys me, not on like, oh, I want people to know that I'm struggling, but I'm like, I just want people to know that like it isn't perfect. My grandma called me the other day and we were chatting, and she was like, oh my god, I can't keep up, like you're doing so many things. And I was like, I was sick for 20 days. I was sick on the 4th of July for 20 days. But like you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know, but like
I feel like I do that too though.
It sucks. Sometimes I'm like, and not that I want people to pity me, but I want people to know that like my life is not perfect. But that's my job. My job is to serve you looks at the beach club in Montauk. And if I'm coughing up a lung while I'm there, you're never going to know.
Yeah.
We're going to do a silent video that day.
I'm obsessed.
I just am like, I don't want you to think it's perfect because it's not, but like, why not let them believe it? Like, it's aspirational, and that's the whole point. And they are like, oh, Jessi's life must be great. Like, I'm going to aspire to be like that too.
Mm-hmm. No.
Summer flu went around. I can't
with you on the summer flu.
The summer. I can't. Like, there's so much going on, like between the lettuce and like the smoke and like everything.
Dude.
So like I can't even complain. We're really out there.
The world's burning, and the summer flu. Like it's just bad.
Sucks. Yeah.
Where do you go for inspiration when you're not actively working?
Music is my answer.
Love.
And I feel like that took me a while to get to that answer in my life. But being introspective, knowing like music is the one thing in my life that really lets me out of my head. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. Like I think maybe my dad being a musician helps, but like I'm not musically inclined. I didn't get that, but for some reason I have this like, it's called a creative hour playlist, and I create it like it's girthy now. It's long now, but like it hasn't always been. But I always like, if I find a song, I add it, and that makes me feel inspired. But when I go back and listen to it, I'll just like all the way up. Also, I'm like a sensory girl. I'll like put like light sage or like make a pot of coffee so I can smell.
Yeah.
And then put like really loud music on, and it gets me out. It's the Capricorn in me. It like gets me out of my brain, and that's like, listen, I also subscribe to Pinterest. I also subscribe to Instagram. I also like am on the internet. That's my job, but I'm on it as well. But I will tell you, nothing great has come out of me scrolling. If you ever look at my page and you're like, oh, that's really unique, and I really like how you put that together, I guarantee you it came to me in some sort of like trance. Like it came to me in like a dream, or like when I put my music on and I'm like out of my own head.
Okay. So you into astrology?
Like, yeah. I am a Capricorn.
Yeah.
And I feel like to my core I look at myself as one.
Really?
Even though I'm not. That's on my moon.
What Capricorn traits where you're like, that's my truth?
Hardworking.
Okay.
I feel like that's almost to a fault. Diligent. And even in my creative mind, I'm diligent. Like, I know what needs to get done, and I know, like, I have certain practices that will get me there. So, like, even though I can be really type B at times, and, like, I can be really, like, chaotic in my brain, I have, like, a very, like, Capricorn diligent way, hardworking way of doing it, which is a really weird thing. And I think, and loyal. Like, I'm loyal to a fault sometimes, but I actually think, like, boundaries and, like, quality of life is something also, like, really important to a Capricorn. So I think that like, juxtapositions itself out. Like, sometimes I'm really, really loyal, but I understand, like, cut it off. I'm a bit harsh.
No, I think
that's a negative trait about me. That's a negative Capricorn trait that is true. It's like, I'm a bit harsh.
You're so self-aware. So for your wedding look, you repurposed the leftover taffeta from your train. How did that come to be? Like, where did you get that idea?
Oh, it's so crazy because do you ever, like, have dreams and you wake up and you're like, that's so silly?
Yes.
Yeah, like, you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, like, my dad was my boyfriend. That's so silly.
I'm
Something
freaking
weird
out.
as hell.
Yes.
Okay, that happened to me, I think. Like, it was like, I was blurry. And I thought about it more, and I was like, this could be sick. It was really as simple as that. I also do think, I, like, love flowers, actually. Like, love them. I think it's like a creative escape for me that's not clothing. Like, it's one of my, not hobbies. I'm not going to go that far. I'm not a florist. But, like, I love to get a few random flowers from wherever and build a little...
We need to start normalizing having hobbies that we're not good at.
Yeah, I'm not good at it, but I do love it, and I have so much fun doing it. Like,
it's okay to not be
building
good
a
at your
bouquet of
hobby.
flowers.
Yeah.
So I think I was, like, struggling because I love so many flowers, and I was like, what do I imagine myself walking down the aisle with? Like, I was having a really hard time.
You're like taffeta.
I'm also a monochromatic girl.
You are.
Got it today. That. Like, I've got it. White's actually my favorite color. My father-in-law, like, really gets upset. He's like, it's just not a color.
I don't want to hear bullshit about it being a shade. Fuck off.
Like, it's not see-through. Like,
whatever.
I can wear it. It's a color. Anyways, yeah, it was as simple as that. And then I was already working with someone that was creating flowers out of fabric for, I had a Valentino mini dress, and we created a headpiece that matched the flowers on the dress. So I was already working with someone that made flowers for a living out of fabric.
That's fucking sick.
So I just, like, was like, is this possible? It was a week and a half before my wedding.
No.
So, no, it was insane. It was truly insane. But
it was meant to be.
Anyone will do anything for a bride. They're like 12 hours, sure.
That is true.
People really want to help brides.
Everyone wants to make your dreams come true when you're a bride.
Yeah, so that was the silk bouquet. And honestly, it gets overlooked because I think I posted a photo. I post a lot of photos with it, but it was, like, either in black and white or, like, you're looking at the gown, but I'm like, the coolest part really was the bouquet.
Lita, I'm so obsessed. Love you.
Thanks for bringing it up. Thanks for bringing up that bouquet.
I can't wait for us to insert a photo, and I can't wait to get the girls talking about it again.
I love her.
So you and Matt were introduced by friends. You didn't expect anything to come of it. You got engaged on your grandparents' wedding anniversary, or married on your grandparents' wedding?
Married.
You got married on your grandparents' wedding anniversary 2 days before your own parents' wedding anniversary?
All in the same weekend.
Dude, there's a lot happening there.
I know. No,
Did it all feel like fate or coincidence, or was that something you guys planned? Like, tell me everything.
No, I think it was a very happy coincidence because, first of all, the chances of, like, the 21st, like, falling on, like, the 21st and the 22nd, those are the 2 days, like, falling on a weekend is, like, very rare, whatever. But I think everyone loves a September wedding.
Everyone loves the September wedding.
And my grandparents got married in New York. My parents got married in Newport, Rhode Island. I got married in New York. So it's, like, the time of year for people in the Northeast to get married.
Totally.
It made it all that more special. It was actually my brother's birthday, too.
Aww.
Turning midnight. So, like, our wedding was on the 21st. His birthday is the 22nd. My parents' anniversary is the 23rd. And so it turned midnight. We're at our after party, and it was Ben's birthday. We like sang him happy birthday, and it was like a rager, and it was so fun.
I'm obsessed.
He was so hungover on his birthday.
I'm sure he fucking was.
He's our baby in our family.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I'm one of 4, and he is the youngest, and he was like life of the party. So funny.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
Yeah, I love him.
I love that.
But yeah, not fate. Like Matt and I were fate, obviously.
Obviously.
Our friends introducing us, like I was actually on her bachelorette yesterday.
Aww.
She's getting married. They're not getting married. Those friends were dating at the time.
Okay.
It was Matt's roommate, my roommate in college, and they were dating, and they were like, you really should meet. I heard him speaking to his friends like outside of his room while I was like still there. He was like, just met my wife, like as a joke.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, like that's like what you said. You were funny. You're like, oh, I just met my wife, and they were all like ripping on him, and then
And here we
10 years later.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's bananas.
Children.
Who is the coolest woman you know and what makes you unforgettable?
My mother.
Obviously.
No, my mom is, I like to start by saying she's the most selfless person I've ever met. But she has taught me so much in life, and she's taught me just, again, like back to what I said earlier, like she has really taught me how to stand up for myself and make sure I'm getting like everything out of life that I want. She's always made me feel like I deserve everything, and she actually makes me feel like the coolest person in the room, and like I can't even imagine. I just hope I'm half of what she is one day to someone else.
Oh my god, that's the sweetest ever.
Yeah, I love her.
Well,
Linda.
Oh, Linda.
We love Linda.
We love Linda. Well, sorry guys, this has been fun, but we have to go shopping. Bye.